This is Smoking Out the Closet. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Rayven Greer.
Hey, it's Rayven. I wanted to announce 2 new affiliate programs that Smoking Out the Closet is now a part of. First, I would like to announce a Pittsburgh local company, The Hemp Co., with 2 E's in The. They offer hemp-derived products including Delta 8 and Delta 9 gummies, vape cartridges, and pre-rolls, HHC vape cartridges, and sustainably used devices and products. All products are made with hemp bioplastic for all your cannabis device needs. And every product is third-party lab tested, DEA certified, and Farm Bill compliant. If you're looking to visit them in person, you can visit them at 20280 Route 19, Number 3, Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, 16066, or online at theehempco.com. Be sure to use SOTC20 at checkout for 20% off on us. And we're also wildly excited about our partnership with Blazy Susan. They offer their iconic Blazy Susan rolling tray, as well as papers and cones in unbleached hemp, their famous pink, and their brand new purple colors. Follow our affiliate link in the show notes and use Blazy10, BLAZY10, for 10% off on checkout. Now, on with the episode. Hi, I'm Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
And hi, I'm Alex. I use they, them pronouns.
Yay! And this is
Smoking Out the Closet.
For those of you who are new or just joining us, we are a queer podcast that talks about cannabis, the LGBT community, and everything in between and beyond.
How's it going? I have not been here in a while, and I do apologize.
We missed you.
Aw, it's good to hear. I'm glad to be back. I've had the big sads because of the big darks.
Mm-hmm.
The seasonal affective depressive disorder, as long as with like PTSD and shit, and just depression just sucks. So
and
make
scheduling
sure,
too.
Yeah, I've been working so much. I just finished up a 51 hour almost week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fucking exhausted. But that paycheck though.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure everybody go check on your friends if you haven't heard from them in a while.
Yeah, especially with what happened after that I brought up last week with JDF.
Yeah, that was shaking me too, real bad.
Before we get to the review, do you want to talk about the thing that was making me lose my shit?
So we were moving our TV trays around. We had them moved over to the couch for our Turkey Day celebrations and just watching the parade. Basically watching the parade. Mm-hmm. Too much food. But we moved one of the TV trays over, and we had pizza for lunch, and I put garlic powder on my pizza. Well, I got it everywhere. What?
You said lunch. We just had it for dinner.
You know what? Because we were talking about having pizza for lunch at work. Anyway, it's pizza for dinner, and I got garlic on the TV tray, and I said, "Here, wipe this off with your." And I went to. My brain wanted to say face, my mouth wanted to say finger, and it just came out. And then Rayven said, "My face." I was like, "Yeah, wipe it off with your face." And then she blew on it. I was like, that's what I wanted you to do. You understood to wipe it off with your face. And I don't know why. I forgot the word for blow. I guess that's what happens.
Well, there was one or two options. It was either you wanted me to blow it or you wanted me to lick it off. And I did not feel like licking garlic powder off. So I just blew on it.
Well, listen, my brain stopped me halfway through because I was going to say wipe it off with your finger. And then I was like, but then you're going to smell like garlic. So I was like, your face. If you wipe it with your face, you won't smell like garlic. And I was like, that's going to sound weird. But that came out after I had already said it. Like my brain was behind my mouth.
So this strain that we're on. So I know we said we're going to do the reviews. We're also going to do the reviews next week so we can have a full month because this past week with Thanksgiving and everything and like getting together and making food and everything for it kind of took us away from making those edibles we're going to review. So we're going to push it back, and we're going to actually finish No Nug November with a review of all the edibles we had the first episode of December.
That's totally fine with me. That means I get to eat edibles. I am totally okay with that.
So today we're using Rythm, which is owned by GTI. We're using their White Durban Crumble.
It is so
Not
good.
a crumble.
It's not a crumble, but it's so good. But yeah, let's address that first.
Yeah.
It's more of a batter because it's not quite a batter, but it's a dry crumble?
So
Dry batter? I don't know. It's
with Rythm and a couple other companies, they use they name one thing, like how they extract one product. So all their concentrates that are made with a ethanol extraction, I believe, is considered that is considered crumble, and then the more live, quote unquote, concentrates are going to be called something else.
See, I'm looking at yours, and yours is a lot more terpy and saucy than mine was.
Yeah. Do you want me to take a picture of yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because yours has a lot more. Yours is very saucy. Mine is more of a.
Well, I should do a side by side.
Yeah, definitely.
Do a side by side.
I have used this prior to the podcast. It wasn't in the best thing. I had this little thing to go on my 510. Don't use your concentrate 510 tops on an auto draw. It doesn't work very well. If you have a button batter with 3 different temps, that's probably your best bet, and put it in the middle.
I mean, honestly, any sort of concentrate pen or a nectar collector or a
didn't.
banger.
Don't be lazy. That's what I'm telling you. Don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy because you don't want to
clean your rig. I did not want to clean any rig right at that second.
But
this is good.
Yes. So terpene wise,
terpenoline. Holy shit, terpenoline.
Let's see, 3.6 terpenoline, 0.8 ocimene, 0.8 pinene, 0.7 beta myrcene, 0.6 limonene, 0.5 beta caryophyllene.
Did you say 0.8 pinene?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of pinene.
But you were fine on it.
Yeah, I've had it, and I was fine.
It's 87 87.1% cannabinoid, so 1.3 THC, 78.8 THCA, 0.2 CBG, 5.1% CBGA, and 1.7 THCV.
That's a lot of CBGA.
Mm-hmm.
5%.
5%.
That's crazy. I like this. Why don't we carry this? Why haven't I seen this? Because I know I don't go to a huge variety of dispensaries, and I do want to fix that.
Yeah.
Same. But I don't see. I guess I just haven't really looked at it because Rythm, I've seen their White Durban carts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've seen their White Durban flower.
I haven't seen that as a flower.
I haven't seen
I've only seen it as a cart in the concentrate.
Yeah, but I want to see the cart concentrates more. Our store doesn't sell a lot of Rythm concentrates. I don't feel like, but. That's also, I guess, store thing, what you sell and what they would get in. So, but I definitely like it. I like their concentrates a lot more than Agrikine's.
Yeah.
Agrikine's cheap, and it's good for what it is. I don't want to have to sit down and do a whole half gram of it just to feel something.
True. What would you rate this?
A 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5?
It is really good. I feel like I could be a productive human being. When I got up to fill my water, I was like, these mugs could go to the sink, and I actually picked them up, brought them with me, rinsed them off, put them in the sink, filled up my water, filled up the water container, and then sat back down. I am functioning, so that's good. That's more than I can say for the past 2 weeks, and that is why I have not been here, because I'd already said. So I feel like this definitely is something that's great if you have anxiety and depression, because I still am very confused by the pharmacist who told me when I came into the program. I'm not going to say names because I also can't remember your name. But he was like, it's really hard to treat anxiety and depression at the same time.
No, it's not.
Get terpenoline. That's all you need.
Now I will say, for a full gram pure crumble in the state of Pennsylvania, currently what I just looked at my source price, not Rises, which is GTI Rythm's
that's
their dispensary.
Yeah.
At my location, we're selling this for $35 for a full gram,
That's not
which
bad.
for Pennsylvania is not a bad price
Not at all.
compared to other states. But for PA, we're starting to get a lot cheaper.
Absolutely.
So
Speaking of cheap, real quick, gas going back down.
Oh.
I got gas at Costco for $3.69.
nice.
$3.69. Damn sheet fine. I'm gonna stop singing before we get a copyright. But yeah, I was excited about gas going back down too. So
That is good,
but yeah, weed's going down, gas going down. I just wish rent would go back down.
right?
That'd be great.
But yeah, I mean, for decently priced, it's a good product. I really liked how I felt and everything. The biggest thing I'm taking away from this is it cannot keep consistency with the form.
Yeah.
They label everything as Crumble, but they can't keep it consistent. And a lot of people come in looking for a specific form because they're looking for specific things that can go in like certain rigs can only take certain things.
And that's what I've noticed with that Dr. Dabber, which is what was in there that you cleaned from Thanksgiving, by the way. That couldn't, just warning, this could not fight the turkey coma from Thanksgiving. That's what I was dabbing on before we ate. And I still went into the turkey coma. That's what was left over in the rig that you cleaned out. It stays super saucy, and I don't like that. It's because it's not a Crumble.
Mm-hmm.
It does need to dry out to be able to be put into that Dr. Dabber that we have, that Evo. What is it? 3?
Boost Evo 2.
Boost Evo 2.
I mean, saucier ones are okay for it, but like the Yokan wouldn't be very good with a saucy one.
No, I still feel bad. I need to get a new chamber for that because that sugar even just. Huh?
It has a second one. It comes with.
Second one? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. But yeah. I need to put the new chamber in because even just a sugar kind of gunk that up.
Yeah.
So you definitely, if you're somebody using a Yokan or something,
that are like very cheap, very neat specific versions of concentrates, don't get this. So for that, I'm gonna say 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
I was originally gonna put 3.8, but the flavor and the terpene profile.
And the smell, you smelled when we sat down, and you were like, "This is what you made me smell the other day." And I was like, "Yes, it is.
So good.
It is so good."
So that's kind of pushing it, but buyer beware. They're not consistent with their form. That being said, did you rate it?
Yeah, I rated it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. That being said, do you want to get into the first big topic?
Sure.
So trigger warning here. We're going to be talking more in depth about what happened at Club Q in Colorado Springs. I'm going to get my notes out.
You with notes. I just did research today.
If you didn't catch the last episode, I briefly talked about the shooting at Colorado Springs gay bar called Club Q. We have some updates for that. First, the New York Times misgendered a trans woman who I couldn't find her name in the original article either. Maybe I just missed it. But when they refer to her as a drag queen who used her heels against the shooter.
I saw that article.
She actually came out, or someone. No, it was a drag performer who actually came out and said that was a trans woman, and a former a veteran of the United States Armed Forces who was there with his wife and kids was the one who stopped them, not the police, not anyone else. It was those two, and then they got charged and arrested.
Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah. Fucking bullshit. Our legal system, right?
It's
and I believe his last name was Fuentes, if I remember from the articles. So recent news has come out. First, before I go into that, have you seen the mugshot?
Oh my god, yes. The people beat this person just.
He's bruised.
Oh my god. Apparently he arrived in court in a wheelchair.
Good. So, the legal team recently kind of issued a statement to the court. While no officials have been charged yet because there's still an investigation, charges haven't been officially pressed. But he is arrested for criminal activity. They're just trying to write up the charges and everything still. In a way to mitigate some of the charges that potentially could be against him, the legal team for Aldrich, who is been identified as the name of the shooter, is stating that they are non-binary.
I at first was kind of confused as fuck, let me tell you, when I saw this article. And then I was just like, wait a second. I'm going to be so pissed if they're doing what the fuck I think they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is trying to squirrel their way out of
I hate crime.
Mm-hmm. Which... And then the article did later go on to say, like, this person, their friends talked about them. There was a video you said he was like 19 around.
No, it was in 2019.
In 2019, right numbers, of him being racist and super transphobic
and homophobic, making
and
bomb threats.
Like,
no.
And as a non-binary person, this pisses me off.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
I'm like, is that all this is to you? Because we make the joke of like, oh, laws are written he/her if she or he, and I'm like, no, we're out of reach of the law. But now it's not funny anymore.
Mm-mm. And I feel like the legal team is being backed by like some of the groups that is connected with this person, to kind of make it so that trans people are considered the bad guy.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That was one. That was impressive.
That's why I did the nose thing. So that is a thing, but basically the legal team is referencing a 2016 legal name change as evidence of Aldrich being non-binary. Nothing else. No testimony from the what is the actual term? The person who's being charged with the crime, the defendant.
Yeah, no testimony from the defendant. No. We have that interview with his fucking racist, homophobic father, though.
Yes.
But that's nothing other than kind of like enforcing the culture that this person was raised in,
which was strict conservative Mormonism,
a cult. And his friends are still like, yeah, this was, if you want to call them that, the terms cohorts.
Yes.
Say that he was anti everything.
But the name change was made when Aldrich came under the care of his maternal grandparents. The petition, after seeking to protect himself from his father with a criminal history, including domestic violence against his mother, Laura Vogel. The legal team is using the name as evidence of them being of Aldrich being non-binary.
No.
Now there is video evidence, like we brought up a little bit before, and an arrest record of Aldrich going in a ranch making bomb threats. During the video, Aldrich shouts homophobic and transphobic slurs and bigoted beliefs and views. As someone in the LGBT community, I will address that yes, there are homophobic trans people. There are transphobic gay people. That is a thing. But you never see both in one person.
And this doesn't happen.
And I don't want people to be like, oh, well, maybe he changed, maybe he did this. Very evidently, he did not. So, I wanted to bring that up because I was talking on Twitter with our podcast with our friend Chris from the
Honeybee Collective.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so sorry because Chris, you are the one shining light in that in the Titanic that is Twitter right now. Because I see all the bullshit that's going on with that, and then there's one every once in a while I'll see your stuff on my personal page, so that's nice. But
yeah, Heidi Ganal, who is a Republican politician who was running, I guess, because it says for Colorado governor. I don't know if he got elected or not. Said devastating news from Colorado Springs this morning. Prayers for the victims and their families. So much hurt and pain in the world right now. Chris responded with, "You and your followers and your party have caused this tragedy with your anti-LGBTQIA+ rhetoric. I responded with, while I can't speak for politicians in Colorado as a whole, the current Republican mentality is that the LGBTQIA plus communities are evil. I've seen it as a queer trans woman to be a major platformer for Republican politicians, big and small. She responded with, no, I know in Colorado, no Republican I know in Colorado, including me, feels that way. Don't believe the media's lies. I responded with, talking about in 2020, House Bill 220-1273 and House Bill 20-1272, which were fundamentally anti-trans LGBT bills, were introduced, and that it's also Lauren Boebert, who is reelected in Colorado to be the senator, puts a lot of homophobic shit and calls us groomers and everything. So one person responded talking about how, from Axios.com, about the suspect being non-binary. I responded to that. They basically say, could you prove examples of common right-wing people, voter, or media pushing hate? As definitely, it's the first question, do you consider Tucker Carlson, Laura Boebert, or Marjorie Taylor Greene extremists or not? They said, no, I like them. I said, there's your fucking answer. So we do this fucking back and forth, and basically I just get tired of fucking fighting with them, and I said, I'm fucking done. I don't care what you say. Basically, they're like, well...
You're stupid and you can't argue with stupid.
Yeah. And I just said, I'm done. Because there's like, well, my cousin's gay, she's a lesbian, and I don't hate
Listen. And there are people that I know they're like this, but you know who you are. Fucking listen to me. If you do not understand why your gay friends are scared right now, you don't have gay friends, you know gay people.
Mm-hmm. Because she shared like pictures of like fucking people with dog masks and like leather stuff at LGBT pride events and said that's grooming, and I said no, it's not, it's king. And then apparently her lesbian cousin also agrees with her and it's grooming.
Because don't get me started. That she's probably and I'm gonna make an assumption here, and I do apologize because I don't try to do this, but I know that there are people like this. I have met them, older lesbians who are very like just blinders.
Yeah, because I mean that kind of goes into the whole like less but accepted. That's why like log cabin Republicans are a thing, like gay Republicans, because they're accepted as being true, but they are pandering to a party who really doesn't have their best interest to them. It's like the Trump with the women for Trump,
the salts for slug.
Yeah,
yeah,
and there are a lot of that. There's a little group called Gays Against Grooming, I think is what they're called, and they're literally, one of the representatives went on Tucker Carlson recently and was talking about how drag performers are groomers and everything, and Tucker Carlson's getting a shit-eating grin the entire time because it's apparently see it's liberals and the liberal gays, it's not actual gays, where they're gonna spin that and still make those LGBTQIA plus people victims of their fucking regime.
My goodness.
It's literally slugs for salt.
I don't understand how people like this exist.
They
don't. Are living paradoxes.
Because they think that if they pander to the majority or the ones in control, that they'll get away with stuff and be like, no, we know you're gay, but we'll leave you alone because you work for us. And that's not how it works.
No.
Because they're going to take that, like, okay, good. Now get in the box with the other ones. Go on, get in the box. And that's not how it works. So yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I did make a tweet about it, and then they started shit on the tweet, and I said, fuck you, I'm done. And I deleted the tweet where I said, fuck you, I'm done, and they already responded to it. Because I was like, you know what, I'm not going to feed into the flame. I'm just going to let the One Piece be what I wanted it to end and how it was ended, and I thought it ended well. And then I made that one, and I was like, fuck you, I'm done, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so I deleted it. Who cares, right?
Who cares what a dumb person on Twitter thinks?
Exactly.
Bunch of assholes on Twitter. I've literally just been sitting watching it burn. I am on my raft floating away.
Oh, I will say we are going to other social media.
We are. If I could get some of them to work, it would be great.
I did make us a Hive. I'm still figuring out how Hive works.
I'm still trying to get mine to work. Like the actual account to work.
We have Buddy Jane, since Buddy Jane is officially launched on Android.
Woo! I just installed it and I'm trying to set my account up over there too.
So follow us at Smoking Out the Closet, all one word.
We'll probably be 420NB anywhere else as well.
But yeah, follow us there. We'll be posting stuff there as well. We are on Cannabis. We are trying to get more active on that. I've been a little behind on social media stuff, and I do apologize for that.
I posted about my smiley cookie just so all y'all knew I wasn't dead. That I was eating a smiley cookie to eat in park.
Tumblr, I'm thinking about making us a Tumblr because that's starting to get back traction again.
Absolutely.
Don't know how Tumblr's going to be with the cannabis thing, but we'll see.
We'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
So yeah, that's been a thing. Real quick, actually, no, I'm going to save that for the next part because that's going to be a bigger part as well. Do you want to bring up real quick the rats? Because we have like 5 minutes left.
Fucking article that I came across today about the fucking rats. Apparently, Indian police?
Yes.
Are blaming, I don't know if it was mice or rats, some sort of rodent that usually lives in basements where these evidence lockers are kept, for eating 100 kilograms of fucking weed.
It was a shit ton. It was a shit ton more than a rat can eat in a day.
I think it was 200 kilograms of weed.
And they're saying that they went through it in a day.
The fuck they did. Yeah, you have some rats, and they're wearing the suits. Those are the rats that took the fucking weed, bro.
Because some shady there, because the amount, if there was a crap ton of rats there, and they were eating it, you would have noticed by now.
Yeah.
Especially with it should have been on camera.
Yeah.
It should have been definitely on camera. So that's kind of shady and everything. So I think someone took it.
Yeah, somebody took it, or somebody just misplaced it, and they were doing some sort of inventory or something. Yeah, it was a bunch of stoned ass fucking rats. And then I came up with the joke with, that's why lab rats' eyes are always red, because they eat too much weed.
I will say though, can you imagine if like a D&D level rat king was real and it was just high as fucking shit?
Oh my god.
You just have basically this amorphous blob of a bunch of rats running around each other, making this humanoid looking form, and it's just sitting on the couch, like slumped over, like in those like anti-weed commercials in the like early 2000s. As stoned
as I wanted to get as that chick on the couch who deflated.
Yes.
Fuck.
But like
I've been there maybe once, and that wasn't weed.
Kind of like that shape, like kind of like that level, and just flipping through channels, going, man, there's nothing good on. What's a TV?
Fucking wreck.
That'd be great.
This is where we're at.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, don't start that.
We got a couple minutes before the break, so we're probably just gonna end this part early here, and then we're gonna get a little relifted while you guys have a quick message from our sponsors.
Word. Hey there, it's Alex from Smoking Out the Closet. We've been so glad to be able to make this podcast for you, and we now have some partners who are happy to help make this podcast happen as well. Our friends over at Da Vinci Vapors have sent us one of their many amazing products, the IQC Dry Herb Vaporizer. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you've heard us talk about Da Vinci, and we've even used the IQC on the show. With a 0.5 gram dry herb chamber, 30-second heat up time, precision temperature control, removable and rechargeable 18650 battery, and an on time of 2 hours, what's not to love about the Da Vinci IQC? Well, what if we told you can get an extra 15% off just for listening to this podcast? That's right. Use the code SOTC15 for 15% off at checkout site-wide. Thanks again to our friends over at Da Vinci Vapors. And now, back to the episode.
Alrighty, and we are back. So another thing I wanted to bring up was also on Twitter today. So this all started because I noticed a fellow Pittsburgher by the name Purgatory or Pittsburgatory. So it's literally Pittsburgh and then
Like,
Atory.
it's like you go to Purgatory in Pittsburgh. It's
Yeah.
Pittsburgatory.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Or like
That's smart.
Pittsburgh's a purgatory.
Oh, I like that.
And it brought up a thing. So Senator Bartolotta, who is the senator of the 46th district of Pennsylvania, which is Beaver County, Washington County, and Greene County, who is a staunch Republican, had recently tweeted, quote, "Small Business Saturday is a reminder that local small businesses with a brick and mortar shop create about 65% of jobs in Pennsylvania. And the holiday shopping season is a great opportunity to support them. Please support your local employers this season and year round." Ding! Think you should be, cute and smart and everything.
Yeah.
But Pittsburgatory. No.
I was gonna say, do you not look in your backyard in Pittsburgh? Because there's a real big corpo in our backyard over here.
I really they responded with, "I really wish that the Pennsylvania GOP would allow small businesses to participate in the medical cannabis program. Many of your colleagues are corrupted by the large cannabis corporations, lobbyists. If we trace back to State Bill 1167 from DeSantis and Street, I feel like we're going to get a good idea." And this kind of reminded me of what we kind of briefly talked of small businesses not being in cannabis, and I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more in depth about that.
Mm-hmm.
So not just in Pennsylvania, but in general, small businesses have a hard time going anywhere in the medical or recreational side of cannabis, because fees are too big to get started. Fees are too big to get licenses. There's a lot of hoops in anything. Some places get the first set of fees go through, but then, like in California, they change the rules or something, and then you have to reapply, which is an even higher fee, and they can't afford that. Literally, the only place that is really good for a small business to participate in any form of cannabis, medical or recreational, is the medical-only state of fucking Oklahoma. Because apparently the ability to get the license is fucking cheap in Oklahoma. And we were looking at some of the menu options today. They have an eighth for $3.12.
I'm sorry.
It's probably fucking boof as shit.
Oh my gosh.
But it's $3.12.
That wouldn't get you shit. Even on the street, you would get a cloud puffed in your direction. That's what it would get you.
Mm-hmm.
You get to sit in the hot box for 5 minutes.
And it's probably either boof or it's like kind of old, but it's kind of getting close to like near the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an eighth for $3.12 goddamn cents.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know why fucking goddamn right now is my go-to.
It's making
phrase.
me fucking crack up.
Oh,
I love this. Concentrate.
But yeah, that is most of the thing, and I do too. I agree with you. This is a really good concentrate. It's mostly the fees of getting into it. Now, that is on the business side. Why I think we should have small businesses in the medical program. Well, first off, you fucking create more fucking jobs. Let's just point that out there. More jobs, more people are getting paid. More people getting paid, that means they have more money. People have more money, they spend more things. That means they buy more things, which creates more jobs, which freaking makes the economy fucking grow.
That's what makes the economy go round.
That's how this works.
Makes vigorous air circles. How this works, you're gonna whip up an air tornado. You're just gonna hear.
Just whip it.
All you're gonna hear on the podcast is from your tornado.
Spinning my hand around so fast, I'm about to use a Beyblade and launch it. Let it rip from my hand.
Fucking love you.
I love you too. I miss this. I did miss
Yes,
this.
I did too.
So basically that is the biggest thing. First and foremost, an argument, because Republicans are always arguing we need to create more jobs, we need to save jobs, we need to keep jobs here in the United States, help the working class. But then they say all that, then don't fucking shit about it because they send all the jobs overseas. They fucking create tax breaks for the elite, but fucking increase taxes on us, on the working class, to keep the poorer people poor. And then literally stop fucking, like, sue the fucking government so student loans can be forgiven. They don't fucking give a shit about us.
Excuse me. Do you know what you just defined right there?
Hypocrisy?
Capitalism.
Oh, true, yeah.
It's capitalism at its best. It is working, but it's working for the people that it's supposed to be working for. That's not us, babe. That is that top 1%.
No, because like what they're trying to do and trying to enforce is laissez-faire capitalism, which I don't like at all.
No.
Ugh.
But that's who that works for.
Yeah.
And it's working.
But here, I'll do the capitalist venture then. I sell a product that is my time. And I can only do so much with my time. So to maximize my input of how much time I generate and value of my time, I'm not going to go above and beyond for a corporation. So I'm not tired. So when I come home to spend time with my wife and my cats and eventually children, that time is more precious than the time I am giving to the consumer, which is the company I work for. So I'm not going to go above and beyond to overwork myself to death when I have the more valuable time of spending time with my fucking family. There's my argument for quote unquote quiet quitting, or basically doing what you're supposed to do.
I have always had that mindset, and they're like, oh, it's oh god, that it's a family. I don't want anything to fucking do with you. If you're supposed to be my blood family, please go away. I'm good. Thank you. Because it's like how I do XYZ 7-person jobs and I get paid for one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do one. And I'm going to let you do yours and I'm going to do mine. And that's the way it's going to be.
Exactly. Now here's my thing too. So what I want to, going back, so we're not going too off track about fucking just venting about the American capitalist society, how it's ran.
That's a whole different podcast. That's one Soren Fannin would love to be on. Oh my goodness. I don't know if he partakes, but maybe that'd be cool to have a history episode.
Yeah, it could be.
Anyway, need to talk to him.
So what would be a good model? And this is my theory. I've kind of made it while working high off my mind because I smoke at work. Here's my current business model. Let's look at California, because that seems to be the hardest to do, and kind of use that as a jumping point for a lot of people, because it is both a recreational state that has a medical program still in it. So, say someone wants to become a dispensary, right? And there's a really big fee. Well, here's what you do. You set them underneath a probationary period so they can generate funds and everything to get the fee to become a recreational state. A recreational dispensary. Recreational dispensaries are going to be the higher priced fee. That's why you still continue to generate money, but you're not keeping everyone out. So you start them as a medical only dispensary with the fee a third of the price or a quarter of the price of the recreational.
Stop.
Okay.
You confused me because first you said recreational, then you said medical, then you said recreational again. Which one are you talking about right now?
Both.
You become a what only dispensary first?
A medical only dispensary.
Okay.
So, say that to become a recreational dispensary, you have to pay this fee to get the recreational license, which is like $4 in number. Let's just theoretical number, right?
Yes.
So it's $4 because we watched Bluey.
You Bluey reference.
But if you want to become a dispensary, but you can't afford that $4,
yeah,
you start as a medical only dispensary, and that fee is $1 buck or even lower.
Okay.
So it's a lot lower.
I'm so sorry. I think I'm still missing something here.
Okay, so
Because you said medical and medical. Which one would have the higher fee? That's what
I said recreational, not medical.
I'm sorry. I guess I misheard you. I'm so sorry.
Recreational has a higher fee. If you
And
want to if you want to become a dispensary, but you can't pay the recreational fee up front,
Yes.
you pay the lot lower fee of being only a medical license.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
You're so
I just
stoned.
wanted to make sure that I understood what you were saying. I almost am positive you said 3 different things to me. You are also very stoned.
I know, but like I know what I said.
Okay. I'm sorry. I want to make sure I'm following.
It's okay. So you
can also just edit sound.
That's fine. So you have basically, we'll say recreational is at 4x.
Yes.
Medical, so a recreational, to be able to sell recreationally is 4x.
Yes.
To sell medical is 1x.
Yes.
Just imaginary numbers is probably going to be a very big difference in practice.
Yes.
Who knows, But I'm just trying to keep it simple with 4s.
Yes.
So you start, you have the money for the recreation or the medical only.
Mm-hmm.
So you pay the 1x of the fee to become a medical only dispensary.
And then you have that time.
Yes, you have that time to generate more funds, contacts, business plans, working with places and everything. And then you can enter the market as a recreational company if you want. And I'm just using a dispensary because a lot of people know dispensaries. There's probably going to be more nuanced things with like beverage companies and all that.
Would that stack, or would then you shift from one to the other?
As a recreational license, you have the ability to sell medical.
Okay.
So it would basically just kind of bump you to be open to sell recreational. That is a very simple version of the idea I had. I mean, it's going to be very more nuanced with like, you get like a license to sell beverages. Like say you want to do beverages, you can do that, but you have to like go through those steps and the prices are going to be a bit different. But I just use dispensary because that's easy to kind of explain the model I had in my head.
That makes so much sense.
Now, if it's medical only state, what do you do? Well, it's a little more complicated at that point. So my theory or idea was, and if anybody uses these models or anything, I want a piece of the pie, or if it's like a state doing it or anything, can you please let me on the board? I have so many ideas, and a lot of you people don't know what the fuck you're doing in government. Please let me on the board. Anyway.
You should be a freaking poli-sci major. But this is the kind of like this is business major shit. But also like I feel like you do good poli-sci, or like the way you talk, because you want to do politics.
I do. I am thinking about running for local government.
They go hand in hand. The poli-sci and the business major. Come on. That's also a surefire way to a cocaine addiction. So
yeah, I also want to be the one politician is like the artist or the writer and everything, not like the freaking poli-sci or business or lawyer.
Yeah, that's true.
We need more of that.
Yeah.
Ow. I stubbed my toe. Anyway,
think about not doing that?
Shut up.
Love you.
Love you too. So basically, my guess was that, or my idea, I should say, for a medical only state is you have them start in either a probationary period where you give them time to generate funds to pay the full fee, but they don't have access to certain forms of cannabis or certain potencies of cannabis. So say, I'm just going to use random names. I'm not going to actually say any company's name here. Say MSO company Weeds Among Us. I don't know. I just made something up. Weeds Among Us is doing really well. They're big. They can pay the full medical access fee, so they could sell concentrates above 60% THC. They can sell flour, vape cartridges, tinctures, capsules, all that jazz, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Weeds R Us, who is a small mom and pop family owned business. They can't afford the really big fee, so they're going to afford, and you can do this in tiers even, but I'm just using one like big level, small level. But they can pay at a small level, so they're going to do a year probationary period to prove that they can, do a business, generate funds, be secure, have background clearances and everything. And they're going to give them time to try generating the funds. If they don't, they'll stay on that till they can generate the funds. That being said, they won't have access to concentrates. They can't have anything over 60% THC. And they're probably not going to have RSO. And you just go with that, It still provides business friends more access to medicine that's going to be in an area and everything, and it gives small businesses a chance to grow. I don't see a problem with that. If you gotta make a cap and make it so where you can generate more money, and this is where I was kind of playing devil's advocate. Do I want these to be a thing? No. What I want is basically the fees be so fucking low, like in Oklahoma, that everybody can get into the program and there's not an issue. But I know the GOP, especially in the state of Pennsylvania and in California, they're not going to play ball like that. So I have to make a workaround, though, make them work with us. And if they want to generate more money, or even the Democrats, they want to generate more money to create more money for the state taxes to fix roads and shit or whatever. I don't care. As long as some of it's going to social equity and actually going to social equity, I don't care. So if you want to generate more money and actually generate things, I would think it'll keep cannabis costs lower for patients and people. If we just make those full access things or recreational licenses the big ticket item for the companies to pay for.
If I had any money, I'd give it to you. You sold it to me. Bravo, good board meeting.
Thanks.
Go sit down. Coffee's in the back.
But
honestly, I feel like that could work. You need to pitch this to somebody. I don't know who you would fucking talk to, but you need an agent. That's not me to go. I feel like this is a good idea.
Thank you. But honestly, I think we should do with Oklahoma and just keep it so low that anybody could do it, because you're going to have more companies come. Oklahoma's got the perfect model. Oklahoma has the perfect model, and I can't believe I'm saying this. It's
Oklahoma.
It's Oklahoma, goddamn Homa. You keep it low to where anybody can get a license, as long as they cleared a background check and everything, and they can provide this the funds through loans or whatever to start a business front, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get that, and you have so many people trying to come into the market. Is it flooded? I mean, it's flooded with competition, but that's a good thing. Like, California's flooded, I've heard, is being flooded with product and competition. Oklahoma's just flooded with competition, and it's not over flooded. It's literally like, it's still expensive for businesses. Not everyone's super rich or wealthy in Oklahoma. Like, you have some people that are well off. They can start a business and start chains and stuff. And then you have one that's just like, hey, we're doing this in the family garage and we're growing our own weed. Like,
I want to be able to sell it without getting in trouble.
Yeah. Like,
totally.
That's all it is. And do I think there's people selling it in their fucking garage in Oklahoma? No. But I think that there should be, like in Letterkenny, if you've watched Letterkenny, like a vegetable fruit stand that the Hicks have, where they sell stuff, but you sell weed right there.
Yeah.
Or weed infused products. Like, you buy weed from places and then you make infused products and sell that.
Listen, I need to go to. Speaking of infused stuff, I want to find CBD honey again, because I love my CBD honey tea thing in the morning. I saw a patient about that, because that sugar we have, that was a more CBD dominant strain. I think that was a lemon G that's in that.
That is lemon G.
It
That's
goes
a lemon G sugar.
In tea. I can't wait for these edibles. I'm so sorry. I kind of took that off, but man, I need some CBD honey sticks in my life.
I love you.
I love you too. This is such a good idea.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just I don't want the freaking tiered fees and licenses thing. But if it's gonna get the freaking both sides of the aisle to work together, it's a start at least, and we can finally get it like kind of worked around, and then maybe change it down the road once we're like, oh yeah, this is great, we're doing good. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it just needs to get federally legal first. That's all it fucking needs.
Yeah.
Is
Just legalize it and figure out the rest.
there anything else you wanted to bring up?
Not really.
Okay, I mean, we got
I was
some.
just. So you want to talk about something else? You want to talk about what you've seen on the internet recently? Just random shit. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's where the person at their work, there was a mouse that chewed through the bottom of the refrigerator, because we were talking about the rat story before the podcast on the way home. That's where that was r/. That's unfortunate, because it's just things you look at and say, oh, that's unfortunate. Like there was a spider in these small things of weenie dogs, that you usually put them with barbecue sauce. There's a spider vacuum sealed in there, like a wolf spider. Great. That's like, oh,
like Vienna sausages.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I love it. It's what I've been scrolling through when I get bored.
Well, can I just say a little shout out to PA Medical Marijuana subreddit? They make my job so much easier. Yeah. So if we don't carry every strain all the time, companies either the clone takes forever to regrow, they stop growing it, and they say, you know what, we're done selling this one, or it's not as sold, so we're going to cut our losses on this one. Whatever, sometimes it just we don't get a batch in.
Yeah.
So whenever we have patients, because they find a strain that helps them, and there's a reason why I tell you guys to use cannabis journals, because then you can write down the terpenes and cannabinoids. It makes my job easier, because I know if you need something that's high in myrcene, high in caryophyllene, or what freaking effect you're looking for, instead of just coming up to me and be like, sativa, flower.
High THC.
You have to tell me shit to help you. You want to get stoned. Okay, fine. But then I have someone who goes, that was a low THC, but it knocked me out. I was like, yeah, because you got a vape cartridge that was like almost damn near 6% beta myrcene. Of course it got knocked out.
Weed journals will save your life.
They will.
And make our job easier.
But when they find a strain, they're like, yeah, I didn't, like, they're like, I know I should have brought the container. I don't have it. I don't know where it went. Like, that's not a problem. And like, I can't remember what exactly had it, but it gave me this effect. I'm like, okay, that gives me a starting point. And I said, let me find something that'll be close to it. So I go onto the PA Medical Marijuana subreddit, and a lot of people post fucking reviews of the exact strain I am looking for. And I'm like, okay, sometimes it's not the exact form. So I'm just kind of going on based on kind of like levels. Like, okay, this is higher than this, but this is a second. Like, these are the top 3 terpenes, and I'll look for something close to that. But sometimes it's the exact form. I'll look up like GTI Rythm White Durban Crumble. And I was like, hey, look, there it is. Look at this picture. Here's what it is. It's not exactly a crumble, but, here's the terpenes and the cannabinoids and how I felt about it. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, fine. I'll look at something on our menu.
Also where it helps to know how to Google things. Like, properly Google things. I'm not saying put things into Google. I'm saying your keywords, and then how to filter your results so they only go from one website. Because you literally can find everything on Reddit.
Yes, because it literally just Reddit, White Durban, Crumble, Rythm, White Durban, Crumble, Reddit. Don't do Rythm, White Durban, Crumble, because that'll first one in the link is going to take you to fucking Leafly or iHeartJane, and they don't have the proper information.
No.
Because not every state that grows Rythm products or has Rythm products is going to be the same exact White Durban, because phenotypes are a fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get it kind of close within the one of the last 2 batches. Now, are there going to be like 100th or 1,000th off on percentages of lab results? Yes. But it'll get you pretty fucking close.
Mm-hmm. Close is good enough in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah. And you know what? It's close and good enough for weed.
Yeah. If it's good enough for government work, it's good enough for me.
Oh, I was actually talking to a patient today about edibles.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. And they brought me up for a little tidbit I wanted to talk to you guys about. Don't cook RSO.
No?
It's already decarbized. You don't need to actually cook it. I don't try pushing it over
I'm so sorry.
You're fine. Over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. When I make our gummies and I mix it in, it's already at the point where the gummy is starting to solidify slightly. So I just put it in, mix it real fast while it's off the burner and everything. It's off the heat and it's starting to to the point where it's good enough for me to pour in the mold and then put it in the fridge.
Interesting. That's a very fast process.
Not really.
Fast process.
Or when we pour the chocolate in the molds and then we do the dots
Yeah,
inside the chocolate and then you swirl it. Yeah, that's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You don't want to heat it because it'll burn off. It's already decarbed. It's ethanol extracted or alcohol extracted. So you're going to burn it off.
You're not going to get high.
Mm-mm.
Not have any effects.
Now, that being said, don't use concentrates, i.e. crumbles, batters, butter, sugars, sand, in making edibles. It's not decarbed. You have to decarb it, and guess what? It's just gonna burn. You're not gonna get anything good out of it.
It's just gonna taste weird.
Yeah, it's gonna waste product.
Gosh, I can't believe it. I feel like everybody who gets into the program, we need to have some sort of thing for them to go through, like bud tenders go through, but not as in depth, obviously. Just basic. This is what this is.
The doctors prescribing them, that are certifying them in the state, need to do a better job.
Yeah,
y'all need to do a better job. I'm talking directly to you right now. You need to do a better job at explaining.
I know you're listening.
At explaining how this crap works for the patients. So I don't have to spend an hour with a new patient who's never been in the program and never smoked weed before about all the nuanced science of weed, because I'm not a pharmacist.
You don't get paid enough for that shit.
And before anyone says oh, well, don't you guys have pharmacists? Yes. But sometimes I have to do this with someone who's been in a dispensary that's around the corner, I won't say names, that literally just takes the customer in, tells them a product, and pushes them out. Or what if a pharmacist is speaking with someone? I have to explain it too. Or they're like, I'm new, I smoked a couple times. I'm like, okay, I'm still explaining the nuances for an hour. But I get tips generally, so it's fine. Also, tip your bud tenders, especially if they're spending time over 20 minutes.
Can I please say that too? Because I don't want to be that person. But let's be honest, this is America. And if I'm going to go out of my way to help you, and you're going to tell me up and down in 6 ways from Sunday how nice I am and how much you appreciate my time, my tip jar is right in front of you. Please show me. Mm-hmm. I gave you, especially if I gave you change and we had a really nice discussion. I greatly appreciate it.
I spent over 20 minutes explaining shit.
Yes, please.
Oh, also, can I just say,
I do get paid by the hour, but the tips are nice.
Can I just say that we had a patient recently that made me laugh? Okay, so real quick before I want to end the episode on this because it's funny. Prime flower is nitrously sealed. It does not go stale in the can. It is sealed with nitrous. I think it's either nitrous or helium, or it's sealed with gas, right?
Yeah.
So it can't go stale until you already
nitrous
open
ball on it. It would go whenever you open it.
I know, it'd be cool, right? So
literally, nitrous is cool.
It won't go stale. So I had a patient, or technically one of my coworkers had a patient that said, oh, he didn't like it because it was stale when he opened it. Like, dude, you don't know good weed then. And then it said he doesn't like distillate cartridges. He hates CO2 cartridges, but then wants Rythm cartridges. And then when we were like, okay, here's the live, which just came out last month or so. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, that's not what I want. I've never had that before. It's like, because you've been buying distillates, dude. You've been buying supercritical CO2 extracted cartridges. You just don't know what the fucking goddamn you're talking about. And you're making it sound like one of my coworkers,
oh my God, can I please,
who's a woman, doesn't know her shit.
Listen to me. I had somebody like that, second patient of the day, and his son was also there. And my coworker had his son. And she comes over to me because I'm packing shit. Old white guy. He is trying to tell me how to do my job and is trying to cut me off, so I just keep talking over top of him. Because you're an old white dude, you're not going to talk down to me. This is my job. You asked me a question and then you're not listening to the answer. But yeah, the dudes, just...
Some about them.
Some dudes.
But we are at
Sorry,
that time.
I did see the thing. I was going to say more, but...
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You can just cut that out if you want to.
That's fine. I'll leave it in. But you're right, the dudes.
The dudes.
Once again, my name is Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
I'm Alex. I use they, them pronouns.
And this has been another episode of
Smoking Out the Closet.
Rayven here. I just wanted to make a little ad for our Patreon that we started. First and foremost, all the funds generated with this Patreon is going to go directly back into the podcast, whether that's better equipment so we can make better sounding episodes, give you guys really cool stuff like stickers, pictures, nice little trinkets from us, or be able to travel to places where there is legal weed or there's certain LGBT communities that we want to interact with and talk to, and potentially have some really cool guests come on the show. Now, right now our Patreon is bare bones, and I do apologize with that, but we hope to make it a little better as time goes on. Right now we have 3 tiers: flower, vape cartridges, and concentrates. Flower is $3 per month. Vapes is $6 per month, and concentrates is $9 per month. With flower, you get access to our Discord, the Scuttle Zone, a private Discord that we have for you guys to kind of interact with each other and potentially interact with us. We have things for like different aspects of the cannabis community and LGBT community where you guys can talk to and kind of just interact with each other and learn from each other, and learn with us. But you also get early access to these episodes. You get a day or two, basically immediately after I'm done editing the episode, I am putting it on the Patreon so you guys can listen to it early. With vape, you have everything from the flower, but you also have access to the private chat room in the Discord server for one-on-one discussions and questions for us. You'll have the ability to basically be, hey, I have a question about this certain thing, and we'll answer it at the end of every episode. We won't get to everyone all at the same time, obviously, but we'll spread it out through the month and be able to get to as many questions as we can. And then with the concentrates, you get everything from flower and vape, but you also get behind the scenes looks at what we do here. I'll show like what I'm editing and like maybe little sound files or like little clips of what we're working on. Our show notes, so you get to see that early, potentially, knowing what topics we're going to be talking about on this next episode. Pictures of stuff in and outside of the recording stuff, like things like cannabis festivals. We'll take pictures and post some of them online, but with the behind the scenes access, you get to see all of that. Basically, all the dumb faces we make at each other, all the cool stuff that we see, and all the cute things that we find. It's my hope with this Patreon that we'll be able to go far and wide and hopefully be able to see some of you guys or have some live shows in the future where you guys can come and interact with us. And obviously no pressure. I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of this, and first and foremost, take care of you guys yourselves. If you don't have money to support it, or if something happens you have to stop, we totally understand. Thanks.